like grocery stores. Was there a Wise store in town at one time?
Yes, there was.
Down there where
Gay Wagner
Gay
is.
Wagner lives.
Yeah,
Was it here long, or?
No, about only a couple of years. Wasn't it?
It wasn't long.
Stenninger ran it.
It was beside the hotel. Okay. Upper store, what do you remember of the upper and lower store?
there's not any bigger. Was one of the owners of the upper store. L.D. Kline was one of the owners at the bottom, lower store. But who started them, I don't know.
The lower store used to be stuck in Clark, I
Yeah,
Yeah, used to be stuck in cart.
think.
Stuck in Clark.
Yeah.
At one time Gil had it.
I know the word
He sold out to
Oh,
Western
yeah.
Kline.
Gil and fellow that had the running, Huffman. Helen Huffman's dad. Had the,
Charles Huffman? Who are you saying?
Helen Huffman's dad. He had
Alex
something.
Klein?
Alec Klein.
Yeah,
Well, the three Kleins had it, the lower store. My grandfather,
She says the three Kleins had it, the lower
Yeah.
store.
my grandfather John, and Allie, and Sam. Yeah.
Now, is it true that the post office switched, it depended on the political party in the White House? It switched between the upper and lower store. Do you recall any of that?
I don't remember it. The only post office I remember is the old bank building. Before it moved up to where it is now. That's the only one I remember.
Well, we have evidence of it being in the upper store building. We have a picture that has post office on the window. But, wasn't the post office also in the Haynes house? At
There was
one
a
time?
bank in there.
There was a bank.
Oh, the bank, there was a
bank,
bank in
yeah.
the Haynes house.
Yeah, that bank.
Okay. But I don't know if we actually have evidence of it going back and forth between the two stores, the post office, do we?
Didn't your dad say something?
I never heard of that.
Never heard of
Was it ever in the lower store that you can remember? the
Not that I
post
can
office?
remember.
it. I don't remember it either.
So maybe that isn't true, I don't know. Did we read that somewhere, Andrew?
I think we did.
Oh, okay.
Hey, in this book, it said about the plain dealer was in the upper store at one time.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Yep. What about some of the lime kills on the ridges? Do you remember any of them?
Yeah,
What can you tell us about that?
well, the one on the ridge western, going west out of McClure, there was one there. There was one on the east side, but it didn't last very long. You can still see the remains of it from the mini mart. Yeah, there's go on limestone down, put in, it's when they discovered the cave that's in there.
So there is caves.
One cave. The entrance is caving in. You can't get it in anymore. But when I was a kid, Jim, a friend of mine, Barry Huffman, we was in there every Sunday. We was in there for, you'd polish your fingernails and push with your toenails. About that high, trying to pick. There's a lake inside there, and there's a keyhole. It's only about that wide and about 4 feet tall to get down to where that pool was. No, Pop Marshall was bigger than you. He got down there some way.
I'd like to see that. That Marshall.
Yeah, is that the cave at the end of the ridge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're talking about, the one that has the pipes in there. There's a pretty big cavern in there.
not too big. It had been a bigger one. But that, when you get inside of it, there's a big piece laying down on the ground, hasn't been up higher up, locked off in a big place of it.
Do you guys remember any type of moonshiners around here?
Yeah, old Preacher Gill.
The preacher?
That's what they called him. He lived over at Jack's Mountain. Where you turn up to road to Jack's Mountain, you go just about 300 feet on straight. He lived in there. He made moonshine.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that already. Yeah,
And years after he died, they were still finding bottles hidden in stone walls, you know, used for fence lines. They're hidden in there, rotten stumps. They find them all over the place.
Was that Erie Gill?
That's Erie's dad.
Erie's dad. Okay.
Yeah, Erie Gill, no education whatsoever. But he wrote a good song, Vanderbilt.
Erie Gill.
And he could play that old banjo or violin like nobody's business.
He was a fisherman.
Huh?
He loved to fish.
Could
Here we go. Didn't he? I have a white guy. I used to eat him on the creek over here. Maybe I have the wrong guy.
Well, I don't know him as a fisherman,
Okay.
but he could have been. I won't say that. There used to be a log cabin down in Penn's Creek. Friday nights they'd have square dancing. Him and Tilly Ferry and somebody else. They had played music and Tilly Ferry called the square dances.
I think he was bitten by a copperhead one time over at his house.
It could have been.
Picking berries and he was bitten.
What about milk delivery in town? Who all delivered milk around town? That you-
Johnny Ralph
Yeah,
and Henry Aaron,
yeah.
Lover,
Didn't
Jay
Idris,
Lover,
didn't Idris have it at one time?
yeah, I believe.
He lived up at the county line, and he sold out to Henry Aaron. We didn't have to buy milk, we had 2 cows. One might go,
Roland Barsox had a milk route in 1905, and he sold it to J.M. Rauch. Yeah, and he had it from 1919 to 1934, and he sold it to W.W. Snook, the Erie Dale Dairy, and J.M. Rauch was the proprietor. And W.W. Snook sold the route to Henry Erb, September the 1st, 1936, and he had it until March the 1st, 1942. He sold it to J.W. Lawver until his death in 1955, and Donald and Kenneth Lawver took over until 1961, and Donald left and he started the life insurance company, Prudential Insurance Company, and Kenneth became the sole owner.
yeah, John Rouse had the farm up there where Young's.
Then of course after that we had Royal Dairy delivering milk here
That was
before. Glen Knapp.
What do you guys remember from the Centennial in 1967? McClure's Centennial.
Well, I don't remember much about it. I was living in Texas at that time.
Were you part of any of the bells?
I was,
The Centennial?
Yeah, I think I was a Carol Bell.
I was a choral bell.
Now what were the bells? What were they? Can you explain them? Were they the name of your group or?
Coral Bell was a floor, we just took a name to name our group, you know.
Yeah, each group that
Each group
we
had
had
a
to
name.
work. We did something, or what did we do? I forget what each committee
We
was.
made, they had stands down at this downtown and you sold things, that's how you made the money. And give it to the
The committee.
committee.
I don't know what we did with
The
it.
girls were called Bells and the guys were called Brothers of the Brush.
Yeah.
Or bonds.
Do you recall of a Chamber of Commerce, or have you spent many times out at the swimming pool?
I helped build it. Provided some of the free labor.
Who else helped you build it?
I don't know who all the people were.
So-
This guy called Charles Rager, he done construction work, paving and stuff like that. He provided all the supplies and his use of machinery at cost. And the labor was just like, you'd go out to a couple of days, I'd work a couple of days, somebody else a couple of days. That's how we built it.
Charles Rager was that Ruth Rager's dad,
Yeah,
who lived downtown here.
yeah.
Now, was that with heavy machinery, or?
Well, there was some machinery involved, yeah. But he provided all the stuff that worked the machines and stuff like that.
The thing I remember about the pool is it was open for so many weeks, and then they decided it was dirty, then they drained it and scrubbed it and everything, then they'd fill it up again, then you could go swimming again for a couple weeks, and then they'd empty it again. I don't know how many times they did that a summer, but
And they didn't have a fence around it to begin with, and the Amish, the gypsies came at Bean Soup and took a bath in it.
I never knew that.
Get it to begin with.
Is that right?
And then they decided, you know, we need a fence and we'll drain it before Bean Soup, and that eliminates that.
Well, hell, not too long ago, within the last 2 or 3 months, a big bear was in there taking a bath.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Did you see him?
I didn't see him, but I've talked to the people that did.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But how in the hell they got over that 6 foot?
Andrew, what were you doing in the pool?
How did it get over that 6 foot fence around the place?
Well, they didn't do it, I'm
They
sure.
Wow.
What type of food have you eaten over, through the years that would be considered Pennsylvania Dutch almost? Snits and nap?
Yeah.
Sauerkraut and pork.
Sauerkraut and pork.
Yeah. Ate a lot of that.
Pig stomach.
Yep. Stuffed.
Mush.
Mush?
Ate some of that.
Of course, anything anything that went with the butchering of a pig, you know, pawn hoss and scrapple and
Cracklings.
Tongue and heart and
Cracklings?
crackling.
cracklings.
Or crackling. When you make lard, you have cracklings. I like them.
So did
I
I.
did too.
Crackling sandwiches.
With
No, I just
mustard,
didn't-
with mustard on it.
So good.
Well, after taking them out of the press, still warm yet, that's when I liked them.
I'd fight you for the kidneys coming out of the kettle.
And the tongue is so
Andrew,
good.
did you ever eat kidneys out of a kettle?
Ah, it's so good.
Butcher,
Nope.
kidneys and add a little liver. Oh, carry a salt shaker in your hip pocket and just dig it out and eat it.
Tongue.
And then you'd probably have the pigtail into the back of your coat or something, and the big joke was to pin it on somebody and they didn't know it was back there.
Yeah.
then they discover it was there, then they go around trying to put it on somebody else. I don't know what happened to you if you ended up with the pigtail.
I guess you had the pigtail.
Yeah, I guess.
I never heard that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
they-
we did that all the time.
We were too busy working. We didn't have time to.
I was a kid then, when I was doing that kind of stuff.
Does anybody else have any more questions for the three that came out tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, their memories are fabulous.
Yes.
They are.
God.
Well, mine ain't what it used to be. I used to, all the stuff I was talking about, I used to tell you the date of it. Now I can't.
Put her to sleep.
I think you did pretty well.
Yeah.
But now just like him, I made him like, if I even remark, hey, who are you? What's your name? I'm getting like that.
Well, I think you recovered quite well your memories from years past, so.
I have some good, smart, good advice for all the rest of you. If you see old man age coming, turn around and run like hell.
You got that, Andrew?
They say they're golden years. They ain't golden.
Mr. Good used to say nothing's golden but your urine.
Maybe if you're Warren Buffett, you might be golden. But for us peons, it ain't golden. It's good, but not golden.
Did you hear that, Diane?
So if you had something to leave to future generations, what could you say? What would you say to them?
Turn around and run the other way.
Yeah.
Well, what McClure is what it is, and I always liked it, so I have nothing to say. It's just as good as any other community.
It's not quite as nice as it used to be, but it's still McClure.
Yeah.
It's home, right?
Yep, it's home.
Did you ready to say that? It ain't what it used to be.
Well, if that's everything, I believe we'll call it a night, and thank you all very much for coming out.
The only thing I'd say to the three of you, if you think of anything else in any of the areas that we talked about, some of the things, Murray, that you say you can't remember now, if it comes to your mind, jot it down on a piece of paper and see that Andy or I or Andrew or Jerry, the rest of the people here, I'm sure there's some things you'll come up with that after you leave here tonight, you'll say, well, now why didn't I say that last night, or why didn't I think of that? So don't be afraid to write them down and make sure we get it.
Does anybody remember the old swimming pools? The one over down there in Hassinger's Farm.
Yeah.
And then the one over what they call Steely's.
Oh, yeah.
Stevie's Bridge.
Yeah.
Swimming holes, is that what you're
Swimming
saying?
holes.
Well, there used to be one right down below my place there, off the bridge, where you go out to town. There used to be one there. I know when I was a kid, I went there. Went swimming in that.
Used to be one up past Jack Neff's on the back road.
Yeah.
There was one up there.
But this one was down right below Margaret Bub's.
Yeah.
They're right on the other side of the bridge into town.
You're over there at Steely's Bridge. If you keep on down that road, there used to be a water-powered feed mill. They found feed
Yeah.
there. The Fisher brothers owned it. George Fisher
No, I never
and
heard
Harry
that
Fisher.
before, Andrew.
Yeah, and later on,
Just both.
there was another party owned it afterward.
Oh,
Wagner, no.
Happy Wagner did.
yeah, I think it was White.
Yeah, it was Wagner.
Kirby Bub owns it now. Well, his wife does. Yeah, that's George Fisher. He married my grandmother. That's how I made it into Pennsylvania.
One thing that we were talking about the last time we gathered, they said about a shirey having caskets down where Joe
Yeah.
Henry Kline lived.
Didn't he used to sell caskets? Art Chariot. He sold,
He had something.
he had
not-
stoves, I think, and, or washing machines, and he had, at one time he sold caskets. He wasn't an undertaker or anything, he just sold caskets. Had caskets.
Did he make them? Did he make the caskets?
I don't think so, I think,
Somebody else made them.
yeah.
I know up the back road, there was a, cause I got some of the clamps and stuff that he, and the big wide chisels, but there was a guy up the back road, and I can't think of who it was, but he made caskets, cause I have some of the tools that he used. I bought them at a public sale. A Romick lived up there, and on the left-hand side,
Bucky Rumick's dad, probably. Bucky and,
There used to be a,
Chalmers.
it was a Romick sale, and I clerked it for Jack Wagner.
well, for years and years, there used to be a
Russell, Russell.
casket sitting down there
I don't know who it was.
around
Oh, no, that was
below
the
the-
son too. I don't know what the
where
father's name
Coons
was.
has his store now. There
Someone
used to be
said
a
at the
casket
time,
there, but people
Those
used to
things
be
were
afraid to
used make
pass it.
caskets.
I don't know who it belonged to, but
Well, Joe Hassinger told me there used to be a casket factory beside his barn.
over in the country.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that either.
I think people told his parents when they bought the farm about it.
Wow, that goes back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes back a long way.
Well, at one time there was a family named Bilger lived there. They had twin daughters. They eventually moved down to Kramer,
Yeah.
not Kramer, Salem.